it is the start of August and I've got deliveries and donations showing up already. This is the monthly segment I do with stuff that crosses my desk. Some of it's channel relevant, some of it's not. In any case, there is a power outage coming up, so we are getting a couple of these because we live in a street where when the street lights go out, stuff goes missing in the dark. I've got a lighter socket, a nice white one because I'm going to mount that on the skirting board in the house. I have something I could have easily made myself, but it was on the shelf and cheaper than I could be bothered. This is a 5.5 2.1mm DC socket on an Anderson plug. That will be relevant to stuff as well. We have some little puck lights that are good because our toilet, there's not really an easy way to run a 12-volt solar into the toilet area. So we're going to need some of this. And our compact fluoros are finally dying after like 10 years. So we're going to try some modern technology and put some of these guys in. So interesting stuff. We've got 2 boxes of those. Alright, there's a whole bunch more interesting stuff to show you, but it's also pouring rain right now and I can't be stuffed getting it out the back of the vehicle. So we'll look at that in the next clip, which will probably be tomorrow when it dries up a bit. But then again, this part of Australia, it might be raining for days. We'll find out. Okay, we had another delivery arrive and somebody for some reason left red tape on this. I think it might have been to obscure the details on the front. But let's have a look at this. I would flip over to the other side and show you the wombat stamps on the other side, but that would reveal the address that is also on both sides of this. I have a few things on the go at the moment, so I'm not sure which one this is going to be. Let's see what it is. Feels like a bit of plastic in here. That will be my little 2230 size NVMe SSD. Although it's come in an 8 gig RAM sodium case, which I think if I look up in here, I have a crucial 8 gig RAM stick here that could have gone in there. Anyway, this is an SSD. I'm going to try and replace the WAN card with an SSD for this. So that'll be nice. Alright, another out of the ordinary delivery. We have a new bath. And interesting fun fact, modern baths are made out of fiberglass, not cast iron. Our last one broke, and to get it out we had to cut it up. There's a pile of little pieces behind there. Anyway, let's move on to more channel relative stuff. Alright, so the next arrival is an impulse buy. It's one of these things. One of the problems I have with MS is using a standard lawnmower like the 6-horse one that I've got. I can't use it for very long or I end up losing the use of a hand or a limb or things go numb. Wonder if this will do the job. Might not be the same horsepower, but I might be able to keep on top of it more frequently, which means we won't need the 6 horsepower. I hope. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. Okay, well I've got that lawnmower largely unpacked and it's mostly intact. I've got to put the handle on, but otherwise it's pretty well folded out. But let's have a look at what the accessory pack contains. I reckon it includes a 4 amp battery, but I have a bunch of the 5 amp ones and a high current 6 amp one somewhere. But this is our 4 amp, so slightly smaller than the 5 amp one. None of the high current contacts, but that's alright. And I've got yet another charger. This is like the 4th charger I've got, but this is a different style one. So yeah, and it's definitely the OnePlus 18 volt ones, the same style, which is good. So I've got a bunch of these. Yeah, that's it for accessories. There should be a pack of screws I would expect somewhere. Oh yes, here we go. Pack of screws and the instructions and the giant Tonka toy yellow looking things that we've got here. And that I think is like a safety lanyard or something. That's a key. Really, there's already a push button in the middle on the handle. You have to push down and then pull both handles. So that will be another function, which I think is just going to be a bridge set of contacts, I reckon. I'm going to pull that out and just meter it. Alright, I have a couple of probes here on my beeper. And we need to do this three-handed, so let's use my third hand here. And I'm pretty sure this will just be a bridge. Yep, it's just a flat out bridge out piece of wire for a key, but I guess it works. Alrighty, let's put the rest of this thing together. Alright, so we're looking at the front of it here, and that's spring loaded, which is kind of irritating. You can't do this one-handed, so there's contacts in one side and there's spare battery storage in the other, and the key apparently goes in here, which I'm guessing by the pin out, yep, it'll go in both ways. Strange place for a key. Anyway, we're going to try this out and I'll talk to you later. Alright, well, it doesn't do a too terribly bad a job. I've done this entire backyard, my entire front yard, and not the nature strip yet, but I'm still on 2 bars battery on the 5 amp hour battery, and this is wet couch grass. So yeah, totally doable from an MS standpoint. I'm starting to get the tingles in the hands now. Normally that would take about 3 minutes with a petrol one. I've managed to do all the lawn, so this certainly extends what I can do with MS, so I'm happy. Let's have a look at it up close. Alright, so first of all, I can pick this thing up one-handed and carry it. It's actually pretty decent. Because it's so light, you can flip it over real easy. And I've already cleaned the stuff out, but you can get under here, and even with the wet grass, this is still pretty easy to clean out. I dare say you could probably hose that off. And yeah, the back of the hopper, I've hitched this up, because if you leave that shut, it doesn't mulch, it just builds up in the back there. This is not recommended, it's a bit of a safety hazard. But yeah, the grass catcher would probably suffice as well, but I don't need grass catchers with what I'm doing. So let's take a look with this stupid one-handed thing, what we can do. This is the 5 amp battery you put in, and we're down to 1 bar. Not too bad, it hasn't kicked off or anything like that. So, but yeah, the battery is a little bit warm. But certainly if you had like one of the 6 amp or the 9 amp batteries, certainly it would work better. Anyway, all in all, I'm not too unimpressed. Alright, some more deliveries have arrived. For a start, I got a tin of peppermints that fell over in the corner there. And I have some cleaning solvent. This stuff is magic. I get this from Electronic Barn. I use this for all sorts of stuff. Very handy things that you always try and keep some in stock. I've got this thing arrive. This I'm not even going to open. This is a gift to my neighbours. They wanted an infrared entry beam set up similar to the one I've got across the front of my property, because I've had some unwanted visitors. We had a look at the way things are happening, and it looks like the visitors are jumping over the fence and would circumvent that. This, however, they probably can't. This is basically just an infrared, passive infrared sensor with a doorbell attached. Very similar to what I was planning on rigging up, but this is already done, so I can just give this to them and a few batteries, and that will help. It helps increase the security of the neighborhood and increase the reputation with the neighbors, so we all get along, at least in a civil sense, and everybody sort of helps everybody if we can do it that way. Not everybody in the street gets along with me, but most people do, and I work hard to preserve that. This is one of these things. This is from J-Car. I think cost about 35 bucks or something. In either case, it's definitely worth the savings on my time and energy, and I'm not really fit to be doing installs these days anyway. I also got a lighter plug, again because the neighbors have a desperate need with the recent upcoming power outage to run their Ventolin atomizer, so I'm going to hook a lighter socket up to a battery here with a fuse, and that should run them for a couple of hours while the power outage happens. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, another delivery has arrived. This feels a bit boxy, but I think I know what this might be. And rather than do this politely, we're going to do it professionally with a pair of scissors. It came in a packet that I needed a pair of scissors to open. Okay, these are screen protectors. Hopefully they're for my S21, Samsung S21 Ultra. Cool. Okay, these have got the notch at the top maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I've busted the screen protector on the phone that I'm using to record this. So yeah, I definitely can use another one. So I'm going to use one of these out of the bat and have a couple of spares. Okay, so that is straight out of the container in the bin. Bit unnecessary. Anyway, we'll open this up, have a look, and just see what we get in these. So we get yep, to activate touch sensitivity. I've already changed that. These have a little conductive gel pad because of the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor behind the screen. So yep, got wet and dry, and the protector itself, which I can feel has a slight curve on it. All good, and no notch. So it's just that they've used a generic packaging for it. That's good. All right, we'll move on and see what else shows up. All right, another delivery. I paid like 20 bucks for these because I had to get them at the corner shop because there's a power outage coming and I needed some D-cells. These are apparently 10-year shelf life. I'm pretty sure these are the dry cells, not the alkalines, which is fine. These are going in my handy dandy good old mag light. In fact, I used to have 2 or 3 of these because they were so cheap when I was over in the States. This was one that's had a hard life at the hands of my landlord. I ended up swapping him. So that's good. Next on the order of duty is changing the batteries in all of these, but that's a different story and not a donation or a delivery. So we'll see it all when something else shows up. All right, another delivery has arrived. This one, I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but as usual, we're going to have to open it and find out. In fact, I can probably open this one as it's been pretty haphazardly stuck together. Yes, this was a free gift or something thing that I won. All right, so these are the Sony WF-1000XM4s. I'm not sure I'm actually going to use these things, but I'm going to open them, have a look at them, but they might get passed on to Tinkerman Mick. I don't know yet. Have a look. So it looks like biodegradable packaging at least. So we have our little earbuds in here. We have obviously our little kit and our manual and some bits and pieces there. And a lead as well in the back. So that's nice. And they feel quite weighty. I'm going to open it and have a look, but I don't think I'm going to really have much use for these things. Really, I don't. Let's have a look here. Open this up. There we go. Here's our little pod that holds them. They look quite smart, and there's a little contact pad in there as well that protects them from being charged in the case or whatnot. And there's yeah, little magnet thingies on them, I guess. Interesting stuff. Oh, they're magnet cases. Okay, so they magnet in. Yep, exactly 0 use to me. And the USB-C charge. So yes, I've had a look at my use case. I have WorkTunes Connect headsets that are much more useful to me than these will be. And so yeah, I'm going to pass them on to Tinkerman Mick, and he can do something on his channel for them. If you're wondering about who this guy is, if you go back to my channel page, you'll find it down the very bottom. I've actually listed him as an associate, so you can click on his channel and go and check him out. In any case, we'll move on, and there'll be something more interesting and hopefully more useful that shows up. Now we're in the field for this delivery. We have ourselves another 24-volt alternator. This is a big one. It's about 40 kilos worth. Goes in my 6-wheel drive ambulance. My other one has got a problem with the regulator. We did reco all the bearings, but this has a lot of other spare parts, including probably a slightly better pulley on it. So we're going to make 1 out of 2, and hopefully we can get it working, and then refurb the old regulator and diode pack. Alright, so I'm in the field again for this one, and something else has showed up. This is the cable, which I can't bend, for the alternator that I just picked up. There's really only 3 wires in this. There's a excitation coil wire and 2 power outlets. That's a big cable. And this is shielded. I think this is almost like Heliax coax. It's a proper shielded insulated outer, which I've probably buckled there, but I won't be using this one. This plug is probably in need of some servicing. We'll be disconnecting that plug if I need to. Also shows up, thank you to my buddy at Copenhagen Military Supplies, with some more ammo boxes. These will be handy. And I think there's some tools as well, but I've got to go and pick them up. But anyway, these never go astray. They're always handy for lots of stuff. Now I've just had a delivery land on my desk, and this one's from Super Cheap. And I've got a whole bunch of universal joints for sockets in different sizes, and a bunch of socket adapters. This is usually a handy kind of thing. I have an alternator to remove in a 6-wheel drive military ambulance, and the bolts are a smidgen difficult to get to, so this hopefully should help that. In any case, if you've done anything with tools before, these will not be any kind of foreign object to you. So let's chuck them over the back here in the toolbox. Another thing has showed up, because my wife bought a Jeep, it has an OBD in it. I haven't needed one of these since I had my Nissan X-Trail, which I still have a laptop and an ELM 327, which gives me a lot of details, but sometimes that's a pain in the rear, and we'd like to take a holiday without taking all the other gear with us. So this can live in the glove box. So I've opened this up, and interestingly, it's got a USB cable, a micro USB cable. This did say something about being able to set a model and looking up codes and stuff. Does it have some? It has a manual, El Manuel. So the manual, according to the reviews on the Supercheap website, is not great. But I think we'll plug this into the computer and see if we can update stuff. Alright, so I found the software, and this is what you will see when it's updating. I did need to install the drivers under Windows 10, but the software was almost impossible to find on the AutoFix with a PH AutoFix website in Australia. So I have the drivers hidden away in my file server over here. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description on where to download those drivers. It looks like the PC interface pretty much does just update its internal database. That's still nice though. And we'll see what it does when we actually plug it into a vehicle. Now additionally, if you're looking to see if it has actually come up, it'll come up on one of your USB serial buses as an automotive diagnostic device. That's what you're looking for if you're trying to find it in your device manager under Windows 10. Alright, another delivery that has been shrink wrapped with a funny haggard bit off the side here. Pretty sure I'm aware of what this one's going to be, and if it is, it's going to be the third one that I've had to purchase in like 20 years. So I get this open. Come on, open. Yeah, we will remove the packing slip out of here and open this up. It'll be a toner cartridge. I have a Xerox Phaser 3155, and the trial cartridge lasted like 6, 7, 8 years, and I bought a cartridge not so long ago for it, and by not so long ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it's finally run out again, so time to put another one in. At least they packed these nicely. See how we go here. I'm going to install this pretty much straight away, so I'm going to open the black UV proof package and remove it. One thing I do like about toner cartridges is you change the corona wire and everything else as well at the same time as just the toner, so you get pretty consistently good print quality. Anyway, I'm going to go change this over, and we'll see you all when something else arrives. Right, something else for donations and deliveries. A 13mm drill bit. Handy when I'm doing antenna installations. Alright, we're in the field for this one. This is a bit of an emergency delivery. I needed another belt because I had to chop one in half to get it off. Hence that job. We have our other one that's still in good nick, and I had to get another fan belt for the Land Rover as well. And I needed power steering fluid. But the cock up that caused the belt was the same cock up that means I needed more oil. So I've got some of that. We're going to include that in donations and deliveries. All right, time to call it quits. All right, something's just arrived in the mailbox, and I'm not sure what it is. I haven't seen envelopes like this for a while. Last time I saw them was getting stuff from the army in yellow envelopes like this. Ah, screen protectors. I'm guessing for the Nintendo Switch. And they've sent them with a piece of clear acrylic. Yep, so there's 2 screen protectors and a piece of acrylic. This piece of acrylic's probably worth more than the screen protectors to me. I'll laser cut that. That'll be really handy. So I'll order from these guys just to get bits of acrylic. Alright, a couple more deliveries have arrived. This one comes courtesy of Tinkerman Mick. Many thanks. I'm going to go on my apprentice's Switch. Hopefully she'll stop dropping it and breaking it. And this is the 3rd screen protector in 3 weeks that we're going through for the Switch. So yay, that's going to be fun. Alright, we're in the field for this delivery, and I've got 3 of these. I've got literally 3. I bought out all that was left. These are just basically micro USB cables, but I bought them for the containers. These are basically soft drink bottle blanks. When they blow mold soft drink bottles, they start out with one of these and they heat them up. They clamp something on the neck here and they blow it into a mold. They blow hot air in, and this all stretches and expands. But they're pretty solid when they start. So yeah, these are good. These make really good little survival kits that seal up nicely. And yeah, I'm going to make one of these up with a little fire lighting kit to go on my life jacket. So if I ever have to bail out of the Argo, I'll have some means of fire lighting, and maybe a couple of batteries for my communicator as well. Anyway, it's good stuff. And this pretty much ends this week's or this month's donations and deliveries. I've got a lot to do. There's so much else happening, and I haven't kept track of it all. So anyway, I'm going to get this one up and scheduled and ready to go, and I'll see you all next month.